Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Haribo, Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Haribo. Hare
Haribo.
Krishna.
That looks
Haribo.
like Mohit. The great
Haribo,
Mohit
Jai.
is here.
Danut Prabhu.
Haribo.
Haribo. Danut Prabhu. Haribo.
No tilak, Mohit.
Prabhu, I don't have it at my workplace. I mean, at home, I don't have it. So sorry for that.
Okay.
Haribo.
When you host a meeting, at least, you also have the tilak, but when you 24/7, when you on the meeting, sharing the meeting, it's a good idea.
Yeah. We are live on YouTube, right, Prabhu? Haribo. We are live on YouTube. Yeah.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Oh, Haribo. Good.
Haribol. Hare Krishna. Haribol.
Jai Shri Krishna. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Tell me, bro. So I've got your mails, Haribol. I've got your 2-3 mails, right? Should I open that directly, or you want to discuss something?
Oh, can you show it on the screen or not?
Sure, I can show it on screen. Wait a sec, bro.
Oh. Well, it's up to you. What do you think?
Whatever, bro. It's up to you guys, bro. All senior devotees, whatever, however you want.
Never mind senior anything. You have to know what is going to bring the point across. If you want to do it, there's one that Rupa Manjari knows. What is it called, Prabhu? The one that you didn't have a chance to read?
What's the name for it?
It's
Haribo.
called Further Edited, The Future of ISKCON.
Okay, sure. I'll check the mail and put it on the screen.
It's fairly long and it's pretty intense. We have 2 others which we could use if you want a shorter one. But what do you think? It's up to you. The main point is, it's not a question, here it is, like the newspaper, read the story. It's like each line is supposed to convey a powerful point, which we need understood. You see, it's not that we need to understand. Hopefully we do understand. Actually, I think every jiva already understands what's needed for the Krishna consciousness movement. Everybody, each jiva, regardless of species, everyone knows. Because everyone has a sense of self-preservation, right? I mean, have you ever met any living being that didn't want to protect itself?
I mean, without Krishna, nothing is possible, bro. I mean, I was
No,
reading
but
about.
I mean, if you see an ant and you poke your finger at it, doesn't it take a defensive stand? An ant.
You're doing it wrong. Krishna is there in them also. So you're doing
Yeah,
it
so
properly
Krishna's
wrong.
in
Yeah,
the heart of
exactly.
the ant sees
Yeah,
the finger coming. The ant is saying, I want to live forever. I'm an ant, and as this ant in this ant body, I want to live forever. I don't want to ever die. I want to eat,
Hari-
sleep, mate, and defend as an ant, right? Because that's
yeah,
what's the difference between the ant and you and me, except we can talk about it. Well, the ants talk about it too, but they don't talk about it with us. They talk about it with each other. They have a
yeah.
very tightly controlled community. So do you see what I'm saying? It's so that the ant wants to protect himself. The whole idea, I think, this is my supposition, is that the League for 10K is about how do we protect ourselves as jivas
Haribo. Yeah.
for the next 10,000 years in such a way that hundreds of millions of jivas will go back to home, back to God.
Haribo. Yeah. So, Prabhu, I was
It's not
reading
a question
something.
of Vaishnava, Hindu, Tilak, or
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Sari, or Dodi, or anything like that. It's not
Baseless
about
of
any
all
of those
religions.
things.
Baseless
Those
of
are
all religions.
simply
Caste and
rituals. Thakur
yeah.
Bhaktivinoda describes even wearing tilak. These are all just a way of expressing yourself as in the role of being a devotee. But it has
Physical
nothing
terms.
to do with pure Krishna consciousness in
Yeah.
itself.
Mohit is trying to say something.
Okay,
It's
Mohit, what are
okay.
you trying to say?
It's okay, Haribo. Let him continue. Then I can.
Huh?
Prabhuji, I was saying this that I was reading about something about Arjun, how he was attached to Krishna. So he was all time thinking of Krishna. So if you're doing that, Krishna suffices everything for you. For a bhakta, if you want to be a bhakta, Krishna gives everything to his bhakta. He can become like his bhakta. He does everything for his bhakta. So we should make people bhakts rather than going into religion, sects, I
Right.
mean caste and everything, right? Vaishnavism and everything. It's not that. Just remember Lord and He will do everything for you. Right. That's my point here.
But remember, that is us in our body being taught that we have a soul, right? We are learning that I am the soul, but I'm experiencing myself or assuming that everything that I'm dealing with Krishna is to my body. What if it's not? What if what we're dealing with Krishna is from the jiva to Krishna, and the body is just coming along for the ride, just like when you're in your car. It doesn't matter if you're in a Mercedes Benz or a BMW or a Fiat or any sort of car. It doesn't matter what sort of car you're in, because it's you in the car that matters. But we're confused. We identify with the car. So when we think that Krishna is protecting us, are we thinking about our material body, our mind, or are we thinking about the jiva? And if the jiva is being protected, what are we willing to give up to be protected as a jiva, as opposed to simply being protected for our body?
So, Pro, I can say here this like, I mean, for a bhakta, if you're thinking of Krishna all the time, Krishna will do anything for you. He can do anything for you. Otherwise, also he's doing everything for every jiva who's not a devotee, who doesn't think of him. He's providing them also with supplies, right? He's providing
As
them also
Paramatma, yes.
as Paramatma. But if you are thinking of Krishna, he can do everything for you. He's the supreme personality of Godhead, right? He will come to you and he can do everything for you if you're just chanting his names, right? He's so
Yes.
that word is so powerful that he would come to you and help you in any situation. He can become like you. There have been various examples in Vedas that he became as a bhakta. He held him
Yes.
as a bhakta. Yeah, yeah. So
So
that's
this
the
is
point.
rare and this is extraordinary, but we should understand that Krishna doesn't come because he wants to. He comes because we want him to.
He comes for his
What-
bhakta. He comes
He
for his
comes for
bhakta. That's the point.
Bhakta's desire for him.
Exactly.
You see,
Yeah.
we may be Bhakta, but the only reason he comes is things we're requesting. Otherwise, Krishna is playing with gopis in Vrindavan. Why should he come and deal with us on earth? The
Yeah,
Judeo-Christians and Muslims, they all believe like that God is sitting there growling and snarling, looking down at us from heaven. But that's not the way it is for Krishna consciousness. He's doing nothing with us. He's doing nothing. But when we chant, we begin to attract him to us. Does that make sense?
Yes, very good. Yeah.
In other words, when you're a jiva, you may be infinitesimal part and parcel of Krishna, but we're separated from Krishna.
So whether
Why?
you
Because
say
we
Yeah.
wanted to be separated. And so he says,
Exactly.
okay, you want to be separated? Then be separated. I'll send you Paramatmas so you can have whatever nonsense you want.
I'll throw it in, he throwed us in the earth, right? Go ahead. Do with your material stuffs which you want, right? We were jealous of
Well,
Krishna in this
because
spiritual
we're
world.
part of him.
Yeah.
Do you know why Krishna lets us do nonsense? Material
Because we
stuff?
wanted it. We wanted it.
But what difference does that
Wanted.
make to Krishna? Why would Krishna care?
Sorry, come again, bro. Haribo.
Huh? Why does Krishna
please.
care? Why doesn't Krishna say material stuff? I'm not anything to do with it. Why does he get involved with our material desires via Paramatma?
Prabhu, we wanted material desires, so he throwed us in this material world. Now do whatever you want to do, right? This is your free will.
You know?
Given is the free
He
will,
does.
right?
Not just us, but how about bugs and ants and maggots and horses and
Everyone
deer,
in this world.
cows and
everyone in
horses and fish. Yeah, but the real question rests in why does he care what we want? And why can't he just say, you don't want to be with me in Krishna Loka? Then go off and suffer somewhere. I don't want anything more to do with you. Why does
So
it, that's more of a Christian point of view. Why doesn't he do that? Why doesn't he say that?
Anyone wants to answer this? Haribol, Roop Manjari Mataji, Haribol.
Because we have free will.
We have free will, but where do we get our free will?
From Krishna.
Why or how?
Because we're part and parcel of Krishna.
That's the secret. Exactly. You hit the nail right on the head. Because we're part and parcel of Krishna. Now, if you look at Krishna, he's very beautiful. But what we don't see is that he's infinite, because if he's small, a baby in Mother Yasoda's arms, he doesn't look infinite. He looks bigger, smaller than she is. And he's drinking milk from her breast. I mean, hey. But the thing is that the question is, Krishna is infinite, and we are infinitesimal. That means that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Now, try this on Mohit Prabhu. Can Krishna tolerate that part of himself is not satisfied in having what it wants?
No, Prabhu. But it's our free will, right? So he's given us a free will that choose between me and material world. So this is what is going on in this material world.
But
So,
why does he give us what we want?
Prabhu, because we are human beings, right? That much of
No,
acceptance
not because
gives
we
to us.
could be animals. We could be bees. Why does he give every creature what it wants?
Because of their previous karmas. Whatever they have done, they want like
Well, that's
animals. They want to eat.
fine. That's sort of mechanical, though, isn't it? Why would Krishna desire us to have what we want?
He
There's a
desires
key to that. If you get the key, you've won the game.
Prabhu, it's like he's giving us a free will. It's like your parents giving you a license to do whatever after 18 years of old, right? You have that much of
But
brain
is
cells giving
Krishna our parent?
Of course. He's parents to everyone, right? We just don't recognize him as a father.
No.
Yeah,
Krishna is not parent of anyone like us.
So he's parent of all the world.
Let me point something out.
Go
In
ahead.
reality, What are you pure spirit soul?
Not pure,
Are
not
you-
pure, not pure, not pure.
That's your nature. If you were in Krishna Loka, would you be pure spirit soul?
Of course, yes. Of course, yes.
But
yeah.
if you're in the material world, you are still pure spirit soul, but covered by Maya, right?
Yes, yes.
And
Go
what is
ahead.
Maya for? To fulfill your material desire, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Go
Now,
ahead.
if
Yeah.
Maya did not fulfill you, if Karma didn't show you how, as he does in every breath you take, how to fulfill your present material desires, how would Krishna feel if you weren't satisfied, didn't have what you wanted?
Bro, I mean, in that case, Krishna must have planned something great for me. That's why I've not got that material world. It's my mind covering it. Yeah.
Krishna does not ever plan anything for us. That's the whole secret. Everyone thinks
That's
God is there and he's going to pick us up by our sika and that's the end of it. No.
No, bro. So then how
Let
could
me
you
just
get your
say-
parents?
You are Krishna. And if Krishna is not satisfied, he cannot tolerate to not be satisfied, right? When I say you are Krishna, how much of Krishna are you? How big a part of Krishna are you?
An infinitesimal part.
Yeah, an infinitesimal group of what does infinitesimal mean?
Infinitely small.
Yes. So how many infinitely small existences that are part and parcel of Krishna, how many can exist within Krishna?
All of them.
Meaning an infinite number, right? Do you see
Right.
that, Mohi? We are desiring in our material bodies because we're as good as Krishna, meaning we don't have an existence, spiritual existence, that is separate from Krishna. Does that make sense? I'm trying to clear up a possible sort of misunderstanding that we are part and parcel of Krishna, but we're not very big. We're infinitely small, right? But what is that infinitely small? It is a part of Krishna. Therefore, if Krishna is to be satisfied, those parts of him, like us, who preferred for some reason to come to the material world and be under the control of Maya, of all persons, we must be satisfied, because if we're not satisfied, Krishna will not be satisfied, and he cannot tolerate. So even our material desires are our being part and parcel of Krishna. Even if we have very simple desires, we're still desiring as part and parcel of Krishna. Does that make sense?
Got it. Makes sense. Yeah.
You get it?
Right.
There's some
Yeah,
very sharp distinctions. Otherwise, it's more like a puppet show where Krishna's here and we're here and we're interacting and all that. That's not exactly the way it works. If you want to become a pure devotee, you have to understand, first of all, that you and Krishna are non-different. Is that so? Do you believe that?
Yes, of course, bro. Yeah.
Okay. So the difference is there, though, in what? Not in nature, correct? We are the same nature as Krishna. Krishna is of the nature, pure Satchidananda. We are Satchidananda, correct? So what is the difference between you and Krishna, or me and Krishna, as soul, not as body?
Prabhu, we just have a part of Krishna, right? So
We are part of, yes. Go ahead.
he's just a part and parcel. So he's all providing father, right? So father, for example, father gives everything to his son. So there's one part of his which comes to us. Rest is all material things, right? All material
These
desires.
material things come by our desire only, not Krishna's desire.
That's the free will which is given, right? Krishna gives you the
doesn't-
knowledge,
Krishna does not want us to have material desire.
but Krishna has given you knowledge that I've given you spiritual knowledge also, how you can achieve me how you can be with us or you can be in the Maya. Both the knowledges.
So he
And
brings Maya Devi to give us the temptation to identify with one body or a different body, right?
Exactly.
So if you're a dog, you identify dog stuff. If you're a human, you identify human stuff. There's no difference between the dog and the human being in terms of desire, because the human being wants to eat what humans eat. Dogs want to eat what dogs eat.
Got
Right?
it. Yeah, Prabhu.
There's no
Very good.
difference.
The difference.
So it's not that Krishna is feeling very kind towards the dog. Oh, that's a nice doggy. I'm going to give him what he wants. No, the dog desires. That's Krishna desiring in a minute form. We're so tiny, minute, infinitesimal, right? That when we desire,
But that
that
Prabhu
is,
mind.
that is an
one thing.
infinitesimal, unmeasurably small part of Krishna desiring.
Prabhu, that mind is controlled by Maya Devi, right? That's not us. He has given
No,
that
the mind
rule.
is controlled. Maya Devi controls the mind if you love your body, if you're attached to your body.
If you're materially
Maya
attached,
Devi,
right?
the
Yeah.
jiva is controlled by Paramatma if you are identifying as the soul. If you are the soul, then Paramatma is protecting you in that relationship, and your mind will be with you, just like a nice wife, chaste, pious wife is with her husband. But when the mind goes and identifies with the body, it's like the mind becomes like a prostitute who runs here and there. Oh, I want to be a tongue. I want to be an eyeball. I want to be fingers. I want to do this. I want to do that. The mind identifies, and then the soul, bewildered by Maya, is dragged into relationships of the body.
Very.
But
Yeah.
if you separate the Paramahansa, if you separate the body from the soul from the body, the mind can be beaten with a shoe, right? And come to live with the soul, not with the body.
Exactly. Prabhu. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no question that Krishna is. It's not so mechanical, because if Krishna is looking after us, and because we're part and parcel of Krishna, is he not looking after the frog also in the same way?
Of course, Prabhu. All the jivas are being looked by Krishna, right? And they
Yeah,
have been made.
but
they've
does
been given
Krishna
that body.
identify with you? Does Krishna identify if you're a frog?
Of course, yes.
No, he identifies you as the soul.
Prabhu, he's given. I got your point. Acha, acha.
If you have a
I
frog
think
body, are you a frog or are you a jiva?
But Prabhu, that fog jiva, right? That fog soul, how is it given to us, right? It's because
No,
of our
it's
previous
not given to
karmas,
us.
right?
We created it.
No, Prabhu, there are previous karmas which we do like dogs. So we have been made dogs, right? We were dogmatic in our human life, and then we were made dogs next life. You want this, you can get this, right? At the end of the death, whatever you're thinking,
It's
right?
our desire that creates
our
the
desire.
body, not Krishna. He does not desire us to give a body. And even if we want a body, he doesn't give it to us. You know who gives us the body when we want a body? Not Krishna. Why would he want to curse us like that? He wants us in Krishna Loka. Why does he want to give us a body in the material world? Who gives us the
because
body
of our
in the
desires,
material world? Who gives it to us? If I may ask. We do. We do.
That's a free
We
will,
give
right?
ourselves
That I
our
got it.
body because we have the power of God, or we have the power of being Krishna as a jiva. The jiva is not different than Krishna.
The
Right?
real discussion which we can do, Prabhu, here is there's a difference between our free will and the free will which is given to us. So now, if we can define this free will
Nothing has
properly
been given
towards
to us.
Krishna. Sorry.
What do you mean
Sorry,
given to us? Can you
Prabhu, free will
explain?
is given to us, right?
By
That's why our
whom?
brain are made. Right? Krishna, right?
Free will is given to us. Who gives us free will?
Krishna.
He
Krishna.
gives it to us?
Of course, bro. That's why we are human beings made, no? Otherwise, we would have
No,
been
no,
in
no, no, no.
Krishna Loka, right?
Prabhu, may I correct one little point here? Krishna does not give us free will. Do you know what? Can you not see another angle? Why do we have free will?
Prabhu, we had material desires. That's why he
Why?
gives us that
Never
much
mind the
of
material
freedom.
desires. Why do we have free will? Why do we have the capacity to choose this or that, whether spiritual or material?
Because Krishna has free will.
Yes,
Haribo. Okay.
Krishna has free will. Exactly.
Acha.
Krishna has free
Haribo.
will, and we are part and parcel of Krishna. So I'm not trying to say like the Mayavadi, oh, I'm God, you're God. Because, we are, and the Kanistadakar, we're Kanistadakaris. The Kanistadakari is the Brahman realization. And the realizing Brahman for the Mayavadi, right? Mayavadi, the impersonalist. The personalist says, I am God. And it's true. I am God. But he's making a mistake. We say Achinta Veda Veda Tattva, simultaneously and inconceivably one and different than God. Because the Mayavadi does not recognize the existence of the jiva as separate, but part of Krishna.
Haribo.
So we need to let go of any sense of humanizing the relationship between ourselves and Krishna. Because it's not a human relationship. There is no human relationship between us and Krishna. Only we are part and parcel of him. We can choose to either be in his spiritual realm, because it's our nature, we're jivas. Spiritual realm is natural for the jiva, or we can choose to follow Maya and take endless supply of bodies. But Krishna has nothing to do with the bodies that we choose, except that as Paramatma, supposing you're a maggot, they eat dead bodies, right? Maggots, maggots?
Good, yeah.
When you see a dead body, there's little things crawling on it, eating it, right? Rotten body.
So, Prabhu, what I wanted to say is, can our discussion more be towards how properly utilizing this free will to achieve Krishna consciousness? Can we
say that again? I don't quite understand how you're getting there.
He wants to talk about how we can use our free will toward developing our Krishna consciousness.
Well, of course. That's what Krishna consciousness, that's what Prabhupada came for to do, to show
rather
us
than
how to do
explaining
that.
these basics, Prabhu, rather than explaining these basics, can we go ahead with
But if we don't understand the basics, then how can we understand the next step?
I got
First,
your
we
point.
have to know that I am part and parcel of Krishna, pure spirit soul. That's the status we need to find now. That's what I need. That's what you need. We have to come to the point of being pure spirit soul, forget our body, and forget all of our sadhana, all of our chanting, all of our dhoti wearing and tilak wearing and all that.
Those are all material things.
That is all simply to keep ourselves remembering that we're devotees of Krishna.
Yeah. So if someone is not wearing
with spiritual perfection.
So Prabhu, that's the point. Someone is not wearing dhoti and someone is in outside clothes also, he can be a more great bhakta than you, right? He can be more Krishna conscious than you. It's about your heart, what's going inside you, not the outside world.
Well,
not the outside
about who you are. Your heart is busy pumping blood, right?
Yeah, bro.
So what's the good part of pumping blood?
It's giving me energy to chant Krishna's name. That's what I can answer that.
Are you the body that has blood?
Are you?
No.
Come again.
Clearly not. Absolutely not. I am the jiva. I am not the body with blood.
So I missed your question. Come again on the hard part. What are you asking?
I was saying, if you say that the purpose of the heart is to pump blood so you can chant Hare Krishna, That's saying that you are your body. No,
No, I am
the jiva does
told.
not require blood, does not require a heart, does not require a body, doesn't require anything. The jiva
But
is
Prabhu,
eternal. The body
we
is not.
fought, but we fought with Krishna there, no, in Krishna Loka. That's why we are in this body, right? Otherwise, would have been enjoying there, right?
We
That's the
chose
point.
to leave.
We chose to
It
leave.
was
Yeah.
our choice to leave.
We are the most foolish and
Where we are right
spoiled
now, it's hard to imagine why we chose
children.
to leave, but we did.
Because we were, I mean, Prabhu, I can say this, that we were attracted towards Krishna, and then we were like, too much. I am not getting the word. We were like jealous of
Like,
him.
exactly, precisely.
We wanted to become like him. We wanted to become like him. So that's why he told us,
Exactly. If
you
he's enjoying,
can
why
try.
can't I to enjoy? Well, in Krishna Loka, you can't have two enjoyers. There's
Yeah,
supreme
exactly.
enjoyer, Krishna, and then there's us. In a minute, we
Yeah.
say, what about me? I want to enjoy. Go ahead, enjoy.
Go ahead.
Here you are, material body. Enjoy. And meanwhile, you're suffering, you've got diseases, birth, death, disease, old age, pus, blood, stool, urine. Enjoy. But
Bloop.
that's because it's an illusion. It's like a puppet life. Puppets are made of screws and plastic and cloth, not spirit soul.
Wait a second, bro. Rupa Manjari Mataji wants to say something.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I just said bloop.
Blue, go ahead. Go ahead. Say it again. Blue.
Bloop. Bloop is the sound of the soul falling from the spiritual sky.
Very
In the
well.
material ocean,
Very
you
well.
jump, it's like the soul's like a little drop, and you go, let go, whoop, it goes back into the material ocean. So we have to make a very clear distinction in our own lives that our body, our human body, has nothing to do with who we are. Zero. And that means that there are many examples, like the king was a Prataparudra, was a saint, and he fell down and died and became a deer because he was thinking of a deer. Well, what happened? He became a deer. That's not a human body. But the consciousness had been highly developed in him as a yogi. So that consciousness extended then. Excuse me. The consciousness extended. Are we recording?
Yeah, Haribol. Yeah, bro.
Good.
It's already recorded. Yeah.
Okay, good. So
We are live.
the
Yeah.
consciousness extended was not of a saint, but in the body of a deer. Hard to imagine, but that's what it was, right?
Yeah, Haribol.
Am I talking too intensely? Am I being too intense?
No, bro. You're being too much philosophical for me. I mean,
Oh,
I am
it's not
mostly into that
philosophy.
bhava. Maybe
It's not philosophy. What I'm saying is nothing to do with philosophy. It's reality.
yeah,
It
exactly.
is spiritual existence. But we're using words to describe spiritual existence.
Yeah, bro.
But
Got
you
your
catch
point.
that distinction that you, Mohit,
Yeah.
are a jiva, there's a soul. Your whole
Yeah.
goal in this birth lifetime is to see yourself as the soul separately from the body. And you
Exactly.
bring the mind out of the body where it's comfortably being in a Mohit form, take the comfortable mind out of the body and bring it back to the jiva. Then you can be sitting in your body totally satisfied as an Atma Rama, or spiritually satisfied person. Spiritually, nothing to do with your body. Oh, foolish people will look at your body and say, oh, look at Mohit. He's so saintly. He looks so nice. But that has nothing to do with you. The body is coming along for the ride. It's you inside that's saintly. That's the point. That's the
Got it.
point, because you have the power. You have the intelligence and the power to understand this. So I want to make sure that you see it clearly.
Yeah. Got it, bro.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Haribo. Of course.
It's a little too much. Is it too intense for you?
No, not intense. Go ahead, bro.
No, nothing more.
It's always a
anyhow, but
blessing to have you on the panel, right? So,
Well, the point is that the whole point is to no longer think of myself even as a devotee body. If you
sorry,
have a
come again?
devotee body, that's nice. But our job is not
Devotee.
to think of myself as a devotee. My job is to see myself as pure spirit soul
Can you
in the
prove-
body of a human that is now dressed and bathed and perfumed like a devotee.
Can you repeat your line again, bro? What were you saying? We are not like ghostly. You said something.
Oh, no, I was saying that our job is not to see ourselves as a soul in a human body. Per se, we're to see ourselves as the soul, and the human body is there with us, echoing us. If we lose our human body, then the soul, if you lose your human body, then you take another body.
Exactly.
And whoever you were as Mohit ceases to exist.
But bro, if I'm thinking of Krishna at the death, that's the successful life which I've lived, right? If I remember
Well,
Krishna
it
at the
depends
end.
what you want at the time of death. Do you
No,
want to be a grain of sand in Krishna Loka?
I can be anything there because Krishna is there.
Yeah, but how do you develop, how do you get a relationship with Krishna in Krishna Loka?
I mean, I'm chanting his names. So he's the seed giving father.
But
So
do you realize that the relationship to developing yourself as a devotee of Krishna is reciprocal with Krishna?
is
In other words, do you think that if you died chanting Krishna's holy name and you go to Krishna Loka, the Krishna will say, "Oh, hi, Mohit, nice to see you"? Or will you have a relationship, or will you have developed a relationship with Krishna? Remember, we talk about Kanista Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari, right?
first of all, Prabhu, he'll not recognize me as Mohit, right? How can he recognize me as a Mohit? He'll
Well, how
recognize
do
me
you
as
know what he'll look at? It's not so much what he recognizes you as being, it's what you recognize yourself as being. If you die and want to go to Krishna Loka as Mohit, then how do you develop a relationship with Krishna?
I don't.
Do you develop your relationship with Krishna before or after you go to Krishna Loka?
I have been having relationship with Krishna throughout various lives, Prabhu, but I've forgotten that. So I'm trying
But
to
the
revive.
thing is that,
Yeah.
do you feel that relationship with Krishna is something that comes from you, or something that is co-created with Krishna that is reciprocal?
It's already
Co-created.
co-created. It's already co-created. Yeah.
It's already co-created? So you think Krishna is like a machine? Co-created is there. Or do you have to co-create with every thought, feeling, and gesture that he reciprocates? In other words, what I'm really trying to say is the Madhyama Adhikari, meaning the Kanista Adhikari, is you identify with the material body as a devotee. That's what we're doing. We're all Kanista Adhikaris identifying our body as a devotee. But when we want to have a direct relationship with Krishna, as Prabhupada had, as an Uttama Adhikari, we can only do that when we develop a reciprocal relationship. And reciprocal doesn't mean that Krishna does what he likes with us. He's doing what he likes already in Krishna Loka without us. He doesn't,
Okay,
put it this way, raw statement, he doesn't need us.
we've got 10 minutes to go.
Okay. Krishna doesn't really need us, right? We need Krishna. Well, are you there?
Yes, Haribol. I'm there. I'm there. Yeah.
Okay, so Krishna doesn't need us. We need Krishna. Do you agree with that idea?
Got it. Got it. Yeah, bro. I agree. But I guess can we read something because Mataji is leaving and then
Well,
Mataji
won't be leaving.
she wants to sleep, right? She's her sleep time is coming.
Well, you're in charge. You get to do what you like. In spite
Banjari
of me.
Mataji, how do you want it? You want this discussion to continue or you want to?
I don't care.
Haribol.
Okay. So anyhow, Rupa, why
Go
don't
ahead.
you take up the conversation about how to become a pure devotee, associate of Krishna in Krishna Loka? Is it something I do, or something Krishna does, or something that is created between us until
Created between us.
all of us? Yeah. What do you think about that, Mohit? People think like Christians, oh, you die, you go to heaven. But it's not very interesting to die and go to heaven. If
Sorry,
you
come
want a
again.
relationship with Krishna, you have to develop that relationship with Krishna now, here and now on earth. Because you will not have a rasa with Krishna if you just die and go to Krishna Loka right now. What will be the rasa based on? Like Mother Yasoda and Krishna have a rasa, wouldn't you say? But how did that rasa with Krishna occur for Mother Yasoda? Do you have any idea, Mohitji? Prabhupada explains it, but how did Mother Yasoda, who is just like you and me and Rupa, a jiva, infinitesimal size jiva, how did this infinitesimal jiva that became Mother Yasoda, how did she become mother of Krishna so much that Krishna shrank down, became a baby to nurse on her breast? How did that happen? How did Krishna become dominated by Mother Yasoda when Mother Yasoda is no more or less than Mohit? In reality, just a jiva, pure infinitesimal part and parcel of Krishna, just like you. How did she become mother? That's the thing that we have to consider when we're dealing with Krishna consciousness. It's not die, go to heaven.
Exactly.
Prabhupada sort of made it sound that
Yeah.
way a bit, because otherwise, who in heck would take up Krishna consciousness? But
Hare
it's a little more. If you want to be like a grain of sand in Krishna Loka, you can be there eternally. It's called Shanta Rasa, or passive relationship with Krishna. But if you want an active relationship with Krishna, that you have to cultivate. I mean, when you were growing up, Mohit, did you have friends, boyfriends, girlfriends like that in school? Did you have friends at all?
Bro,
Or brothers and sisters?
to be frank and clear, bro, I mean, I am a single child, so
Oh, okay.
brothers and sisters were never
But
there.
did you
I had
go to school?
I had cousins. But then also I was a bit different from them. So I'm much a
But
quieter
I'm just talking
person.
about example, when you were with them, how did you develop a relationship with your cousins?
I mean, just as a great friend. Yeah, as a great friend or whom I can talk to with. That's it.
And you could, when you were little, you played with them, right?
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah.
That's what it takes to become a devotee of Krishna. So Mother
Haribo.
Yasoda,
I was going to say this.
Yasoda's desire to be mother was so powerful. Prabhupada describes this, that Mother Yasoda's desire to be Krishna's mother was so powerful that he shrank down. He had no choice. He was shrunken down by Mother Yasoda to become a baby.
Haribo.
And she can tie him up with a rope. How can you do that to God? What sort of relationship do you have with God that you can tie him up with a rope? You know what I mean? So now think about yourself. You don't know at this point, neither do I, what relationship I would like to have with Krishna. But can you understand that it has to be back and forth between you and Krishna? Right now, your jiva, you can reach out and say, my dear Lord Krishna, I want a relationship with you. And I want it to be authentic. Please, I will try to form a relationship with you, be guided by Paramatma in my heart. I'll try to let that happen for the both of us. But in the end, I will not succeed until you are pleased by what I'm doing. Even I'm in a dark world of the material universe. You look outside, it's dark in the nighttime. I'm reaching out to you, Krishna, in Krishna Loka, where it's never dark. I'm reaching out to you in Krishna Loka. And I'm reaching out in such a way that I don't want anything from you. I want you to be pleased by what I am doing to serve you. I'm maybe with a fan, fanning you. Now, if you're fanning like you fan a human or even a deity on planet Earth, he will not like it. Because it's the way we fan things in the material world. You have to learn. And who will guide you as Paramatma? He will teach you how to fan Krishna in the degree that Krishna will find that was nice. The minute Krishna thinks that was nice, that just saying it produces for you a reciprocation that gives you transcendental satisfaction and a clue built into that satisfaction as to how to fan him next. So that goes back and forth until Krishna is completely pleased. When he's completely pleased, then the curtain of Maya can roll up. Then you can see Krishna face to face. All this time you're pleasing Krishna, you can't see him even. And it's not a picture, it's not a deity. This is Krishna you're dealing with himself. And when the curtain of Maya rolls up and you see Krishna face to face, then you are in your rasa with Krishna as much as if you have a girlfriend, you're in a relationship with a girlfriend, or if you have a little child, you're in a relationship with a little child, like that, or your own relationship with your parents. A loving exchange. Does that make sense?
So it makes sense, but this loving exchange has no meaning, right? If Krishna is not there. If you don't, if it is not towards Krishna, this loving exchange is useless.
So Krishna is not there. That is for sure. Krishna is not present. You know how you get Krishna to be present?
I think
You
of
do
this
something
loving
that
exchange.
pleases. If you please Krishna, he will come to you.
Exactly. I think of this loving exchanges between parents or whatever material people do it with their girlfriends, and it's all, material, it's all body attraction, right? They don't love the soul. They
Yeah,
don't
that's
want
why
to
it's just an example.
reach to
You know?
Krishna. Yeah.
But these bodily attachments, these bodily relationships, Prabhu, don't they occur because Krishna has relationships in Krishna Loka? Are these not perverted reflections of the spiritual pastimes in Krishna Loka?
These are poetic reflections because of our karma.
It's the same, it's not the same, but we can see the nature of exchange.
Prabhu, Haribol, this perverted
Yeah.
relations are because of our desires and our karma has been previously done, right? That's why that guy has become my father, he's become my mother, because I have some karma with them. They need
Oh,
to
that's
please.
different. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you are the child. They love to see you. Your mother feeds you from her breast. When you're a little older, you run over to see your father. Daddy, daddy, pita, pita. And you grab him by the knee. And some relationship is there, right?
Yeah, bro. But that's
Okay.
perverted
That's
relationship.
what you have to do with Krishna to develop a relationship with Krishna, but without the body. You do it spiritually.
So that's. So you want to say this, that pure relationship is different from our perverted relationship. You're just giving an example.
It's just an example because we're in the material world. Everything we do with our parents leads us to further entanglement by getting married and becoming a parent.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock.
So what are we going to do? So what do you feel comfortable doing, Mogi?
Whatever you like, bro. You want to have talks like this or whatever? But
I don't
Mataji
mind
had,
continuing. I don't know if Rupa wants to continue, but I don't mind going on for a few more minutes because we did start on the late side, but not forever.
I'm gonna sign off.
yeah, have a great sleep. Hari Bol, Gaura night. Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you, by the way, Rupa Manjari, for the beautiful clarifications that you made.
Yeah. Good night, you guys.
Hare Krishna. So, bro,
Rupa Manjari normally goes to sleep at 8 o'clock. So for her to do the Zoom calls is a big sacrifice of her sleeping time.
exactly, bro. Got it,
So
bro.
then that's why she likes to quit at 10 because otherwise it goes to 11 or 12. You know? For me, I'm a little more flexible. So what do you think?
Bro,
Can you let go of any idea about preconceived idea of Krishna and realize that we don't have any idea of what our relationship with Krishna is? We have no way to know. That has to be. Do you think Krishna is aware of us when we are not aware of him?
exactly. Krishna is always aware of us. He's always
No.
aware of what living
Krishna
entities
is
are doing.
not aware. Well, in a sense, he is, yes, because we're part and parcel of him. He's aware of
Exactly.
himself,
Mm.
but he's not aware of what we're doing. He doesn't watch
True.
our material activity.
For that, he's kept all the devtas, right?
Huh?
All, so there are demigods kept for that. No, there are
Yeah,
demigods
well,
kept. Right?
demigods are simply
Recording everything.
managers. They're managers in the material world. It's like the
They're recording
plumber, the
everything.
carpenter, the janitor. They're doing all the work to keep the universe okay, so that we can live in it, eat, sleep, mate, defend, poop,
So they're
whatever we
recording
do in
everything.
the material world.
So
Well,
indirectly, these managers are
correcting it.
recording everything. Indirectly, these managers are recording everything, and then that goes directly to Krishna. The important thing goes to
No, not to Krishna. No. It goes to Yamaraj.
Haripo. Yes.
It goes to. Have you heard of the Akashic record?
Have I heard of whom?
The Akashic record is the record of every single thought, and feeling, and action you ever have done in all the species that you have been in since you came to planet Earth from Krishna Loka.
I've never heard of this, bro.
Yeah, well, anyhow, that record is kept. And when you die, if you've done sinful things, you have to, like the guys that are working in a butcher shop, they go to the Akashic record, they have to go to Yamaraj. Yama is Yudhisthira.
Yama is who?
Yudhisthira.
Yudhishthira Maharaj is Yamaraj. Prabhu, it's impossible.
That's why he was so in such a tough spot when he was here on the planet.
So, Prabhu, you're saying that Yamaraj and Yudhishthira, there's no difference between Yamaraj and
Well, there is a difference.
Maharaj
Yudhisthira is Yudhisthira, Yamaraj is Yamaraj. But just like Lord Brahma is Haridas Thakur, right?
Yes, Haribo. Yes. Yes.
So you can say Haridas and Lord Brahma don't look at all like each other, right?
Acha. Got it.
Haridas is a skinny little Muslim, and Lord Brahma is opulent, the most opulent demigod in charge of the entire universe. So how can we say it's the same, you see?
Exactly. Yeah. So, Prabhu, I wanted to discuss about Bhava. Haribo, are you there?
Bhava?
I wanted to discuss more about Bhava Bhakti, Prabhu. So, I mean, when you're chanting always about Krishna, for example, if we don't chant on
Excuse me, Prabhu, my ignorance. I could not understand what you said.
Haribo. Now
you
you can
want to
understand?
discuss, I can hear, you want to discuss about
Bhav Bhakti.
Mahabhakti?
Bhav Bhakti, Haribol.
Bhava Bhakti?
Yes.
Okay.
So, for example, Prabhu, if we are thinking of Krishna all the time, almost, for example, you're thinking of Krishna 23 hours, right? Just 1 hour giving to your body. and not chanting on your beads, but you're thinking of Krishna and you were chanting through, always chanting. So, what is your point of view on that?
Well, Bhava Bhakti means that you're being guided by Paramatma.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 Now, normally people don't want to be guided by Paramatma. In fact, they hate it. They
Why?
don't like being guided by Paramatma. They want to give, they want to order Paramatma around. They want to give orders to Paramatma.
They
Right?
do business too. Yeah, business. That's business,
I want
right?
my keys. Where did I put my wife? Where did I put my keys? Where's my car? I think somebody stole the car from my house. Where's my car? We're asking who? Paramatma.
Yes.
That's the tone of voice we use with Paramatma. Very offensive.
Very offensive. Yeah.
But if we want to develop pure Krishna consciousness, then our relationship with Paramatma must be, this is Krishna. Paramatma is Krishna. He can guide me to my rasa with Krishna.
Exactly. Got it, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, so Bhava Bhakti means guided by Paramatma to Krishna.
Exactly.
You see? We're on the real, this is all reality. This is not
So that's it.
religion. We
I'm
hate
attracted.
religion.
I'm
We
more
hate
attracted
religion.
towards Prabhu. These
Huh?
days, I've been attracted towards Baba Bhakti. I'm more attracted towards Baba Bhakti rather than
Well,
the
then
sadhana one.
develop a relationship with Paramatma in which asking Paramatma to do things for you, which we do every minute of every day, is less. And ask Paramatma to guide you to the lotus, to your rasa with Krishna, that will increase.
Haribo. That's what I
You
want in
see,
life. Yeah.
okay, that's the Madhyam Adhikari. That's the desire of the Madhyam Adhikari. Madhyam is the same as medium. Like Uttama is ultimate, Madhyam is medium. So the medium Adhikari is very rare. I've never met anyone that I could consider to be an actual Madhyam Adhikari in ISKCON. Everybody's
Haribo.
Kanista. Everyone's
Yeah, yeah.
beginners, neophytes. And the GBC that was, illegal GBC, they want us to be subjected to be neophytes forever. They don't want anyone to be advanced. So when they appoint gurus, they don't want the gurus to be advanced. They just want them to be obedient to them.
It's like a company, Prabhu. So it's like a corporate company, right? If you're not, pleasing your boss, you're thrown out, right?
I say that again?
So that's like ESCON is like, the ESCON which you're talking about is like a corporate world, right? So if you're not pleasing your boss, you're killed or you're disturbed, right? So that's a
Yeah.
lineage
That's
coming,
not the
right?
way
Vice
Prabhupada
president.
created it. Prabhupada created that each temple, like if you see a temple somewhere, that temple is supposed to be independent from all the other temples.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But instead, they're part of a big corporation headed in Mayapur. That is against Prabhupada, against in the sense that the atheist is against God. The Mayapur GBC, not elected, is atheism. And the
I know that. Yeah.
ISKCON incorporated in globally, that's atheism also. So that's what we're doing with the League for 10K means let's go to Prabhupada and have the movement come from him, not atheistic, but transcendental.
Hari, Hari, Hari Bol, Jai, Jai, Jai.
Yeah. How do you feel? You look like you don't feel entirely comfortable. Are you entirely comfortable?
True, I'm comfortable today. Yeah, yeah. But I'm thinking
I
of
hope I
Krishna.
wasn't too heavy on you, too harsh.
Not too harsh, bro. But the point is, like, I am not that much knowledgeable in that. So I get knowledge every day from you. So that knowledge increases.
Yes.
That
What
knowledge
little I
increases.
know, I will share with you.
That's important for me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Not at all.
I know
You're
that.
not at
I
all heavy.
recognize that, and I feel that. It's very important.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah.
So the question of the Madhya Madhikari is that the person who's Kanistadhikari, supposing you go to a place and there's a pujari, he has a wonderful relationship with the deity. it looks like the deities are crying when he's worshiping them in the temple.
Yeah.
Marble deities crying. And he's
Yeah.
looking at the deities and he's crying. Is that pure love of God? Not yet, you see. He needs to go and please Krishna as a Madhyamadikari. That's still Kanistadikari. He's still married, he still has kids, he still lives in a house, he still eats, sleeps, mates, defends. That's his main thing. And it's becoming so purified. He develops the desire in the end for Krishna. Direct rasa with Krishna, not just the deity. Now, do you know why not the deity? The deities in our ISKCON temples, they're worshipped in the mood of Vishnu, not Krishna.
Acha,
We can't worship Krishna in our temples as Krishna.
Acha.
Because the reason why is that Krishna is worshipped informally. He looks like Krishna, he's dressed like Krishna, Radharani's there, but when we worship in awe and reverence. That's the worship, not spontaneous. Awe and reverence, that's the worship of Vishnu. So when a person wants to actually meet Krishna in Krishna Loka, he has to be willing to let go of his wonderful relationship to Krishna as Vishnu in the temple and realize that if he fans, I like to use the word fanning because it's easy to understand, that he's fanning the deity in the temple, the deity may be incredibly pleased. So he goes to meditate on Krishna and Krishna Loka and fans just like he does in the temple. Krishna will not be pleased.
Of course.
It's different because in Krishna Loka, it's a different mood. So he has to learn the mood of Krishna Loka. How can a human being learn the mood of Krishna Loka if we're not there? And how can we get there? You see, how do we get to Krishna Loka to learn? We don't. We stay here and learn. In the Madhyamadikari platform medium, we have to ask for Vishnu to help us, Paramatma. The same Paramatma, they gave us disgusting things to eat, dead flesh to eat when we were maggots eating dead corpses. That same Krishna in the heart of the maggot is now guiding you. The same Krishna is never polluted. He's in the heart, he's in the center of every atom also. So he's guiding you now how to purify, how to transcend the worship of Vishnu to be able to spontaneously please Krishna by fanning Krishna also. See, this is different than most people think. People don't think along these lines. They think more like Christians. Oh, you die. When you die, you go to heaven. You stand there, hi, Krishna, I'm back. What should I do? Oh, you're in Krishna Loka. You can do whatever you like. That's not what Krishna does. You have to be part and parcel of the pastimes of Krishna Loka to go to Krishna Loka. And you can't do that from planet. Nobody can do that by dying on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Even they're a great devotee. They can't because they don't have the relationship. So before you go to Krishna Loka, understand you have to create the relationship with Krishna that will be your relationship eternally in Krishna Loka. In other words, just like you were in Krishna Loka, right, Mohit, at one time?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously.
You were, but you don't remember it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You don't remember. But we know one thing, we're taught. My Prabhupada tells us, we were all originally Krishna conscious entities, but due to our association with Matter, since time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by a material atmosphere. I think Bhakti Saraswati wrote that. But anyhow, it's on the record, back of the record of Prabhupada's first record that he put out for playing the Hare Krishna mantra, which is why I joined the movement, because I heard that record playing in the temple. I was so attracted. I have a record like that. I have one of them. Have you seen the record?
No, bro.
Would you like to see it?
Yeah, bro, of course.
I don't have a record player. I can't play it. But
The next class,
I can show it. I'm going to grab it right now. Do we have anybody else on the call at this point?
There's some guy called Robert who's entered, I guess.
Oh, that's nice.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So here it
Robert.
is.
Haribo.
Let's see if it shows up on the screen.
Haribol. Super, bro.
Can you see Prabhupada?
It's half. It's sometimes that picture is.
Yeah, it's twitching. Let's see. I'll turn it
so-
sideways and see if I can make it happen.
Hare Krishna, Robert, bro. Welcome to the discussions. Haribol. Hare Krishna. He's gone away. Yeah.
Oh, what's going on here? Okay,
Bro,
you can see
I
it
can
now.
see now. Now I can see it. Yeah.
A little bit.
Haribol. Yeah, I
And
can
then
see
look
a
at
little
the other
bit.
side.
Okay. It's enough, bro. Hariya, oh, Jai Prabhupada, Dhanvat Pram, Hari
Prabhupada.
Om.
So this record I got at the beginning, 1968.
Acha.
Yes. So anyhow, that's what I have here. So I listened to that, and by hearing Prabhupada chanting, I could understand that he was a pure devotee and that he was my
Exactly.
guru.
I've also heard, I've also felt this. I mean, when Prabhupada is chanting, you can feel that pureness which is coming direct from Krishna.
That's it. So
Exactly.
that's what we're doing. That's the League for 10K. We're looking forward, not sideways or backwards. We don't have a memory. We don't need a memory. We don't need to memorize what happened in 52 years since 1970, right?
Mm-hmm.
We
Exactly.
don't have to even know about what happened. Let them sort it out. What we're doing is presenting the real thing. People want the real thing, will come to us.
Haribol, exactly.
Why would they not?
Krishna will
Why
guide
would they
them.
not come to the? If we give them the real thing, the pure teaching of Prabhupada, why wouldn't they come to us?
Prabhu, it all depends on Krishna. If Krishna finds
No,
that
no,
they
no,
are
no,
like
no.
very pure,
Prabhu,
Krishna will.
please don't say that. It doesn't depend on Krishna. You know what Krishna does when it depends on Krishna? He lets us stay here in the material world being bossing Paramatma around. If it depends on Krishna, it never depends on Krishna, Prabhu. Now, please try to understand. It depends on us. It depends on our choice, our desire.
My point is like if you have pure desire for Krishna, if you're
We
purely
don't.
desiring for Krishna, he will guide you through some process, right? He will make you available with us, right? He'll make us available to him. That's my point. Yeah.
Yes, but as I've been describing exactly how to do it, it's not quite as like that, it's not that sudden. Krishna, we don't have pure desire for Krishna. Our pure desire for Krishna, if I can learn to fan Krishna the way he likes to be fanned in Krishna Loka, he will reciprocate with you and me, right? If you do that, he'll reciprocate with you,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen before that, and it's never mechanical.
Okay.
We have to understand Krishna is very carefully avoiding being in our presence.
Acha, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
You know why he's not in our presence? I hate to say it. We don't want him in our presence. If he's in our presence, it interferes with me when I shave. It interferes with me when I put on my clothes. It interferes with me when I meet up with my wife and my kids. It interferes with me when I get my car fixed. All that is, I tell Paramatma, I need this, I need that, I need that. Where's my wife? Where's my car? How do I get my car fixed? That I'm telling with Krishna. But when
Exactly.
you want to attract Krishna, we don't.
Exactly, bro.
And he's not interested in what we do. Paramatma is interested in what we do because Paramatma was sent by Krishna to us to satisfy our material desires.
Haribo.
But when you become a Madhyamadikari,
Hmm.
he begins to teach us how to cultivate our spiritual desires.
Haribo. Yes.
He does both. He can do both. And as a Madhyamadikari, you have to be very careful not to indulge in any material desires, but just spiritual desires until Krishna wants you with him all the time.
Hari bol.
So it
Jai.
all depends on Krishna wanting you. But if you're not making yourself desirable to Krishna, you're invisible to
work.
Krishna.
You're invisible.
invisible to him. We have to distinguish between Paramatma, who is Krishna in your heart, and being visible by Krishna in Krishna Loka. Krishna in Krishna Loka has no reason to spend even one tiny bit of his energy observing what we're doing in the material world.
Got
Even
it.
if we're chanting nicely, even if we're being good devotees, he just gives us a chance. But who guides us? Paramatma. When Paramatma may guide you to a bottle of whiskey or drugs, Paramatma or meat, but Paramatma guides you also to developing pure unalloyed love of God.
Hari
And when you're
bol.
perfectly chanting japa, that brings you closer. But it doesn't necessarily bring Krishna closer to you. It brings you closer to Krishna.
Hari bol. Jai.
Does
Got
that
your
make
point,
any
bro.
sense? Krishna
It's making
comes to
sense.
you. But Krishna will come to you when you are ready to participate with Krishna one-on-one.
That's the free
That's
will,
all he
right?
does is he just
That's the simple.
participates. Krishna, everything Krishna does is one-on-one.
So that's the basic free will which is given to us, right? That I
Yes.
have given you free will. That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have free will, and we use our free will to ask Paramatma to do material things. But we can take that same free will and ask Paramatma to guide us to give up material things and approach service, direct service to Krishna, like fanning him personally. That's very
Hari-
direct service.
Jai.
You can say give him water, you can say comb his hair, you can say all sorts of things. But the fanning him is better because it has distance, and either he likes it or he doesn't. But just because you fan Krishna doesn't mean Krishna automatically will enjoy how you're doing it.
Got it, bro. Hari bol. I guess we are high on time, bro. It's like overtime.
What?
Yeah. Bro, it's
Because of-
overtime, I guess. I guess we've extended it too much. So
Are we too far?
yeah, I've extended till it's almost 11:53 a.m. So I need to go, bro.
Oh, you do? Okay, Prabhu. Well, thank you. I hope I haven't been too tough.
No, never with you, bro. Not at all.
But what I sense is that you need to let go of everything you ever thought Krishna consciousness was, so you can find out what Krishna consciousness actually is. When you
Yes.
do, then you will very quickly move up to Madhyamadikari, which is
Haribol.
rare, because I personally do not know of any devotees in ISKCON who have reached that platform yet. So you
I
can be
wish
a first. You can be a
I wish
first.
Haribol. I wish I reached that.
Okay, Hare Krishna, you have to get going, right? Glorious
bro.
to Srila Prabhupada. Haribol.
Done with, bro. Hare Krishna, bro.
And please forgive me if I have offended you even slightly in any way whatsoever.
Not at all.
I am
Not at
your
all.
eternal servant.
Not
Sometimes
at
the
all, bro.
servant is tough. Sometimes the servant acts tough, but that doesn't mean he's trying to be tough over you. He's just trying to be tough for you.
Not at all.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
You can cut out anytime you like.